Well, greetings, Guardians. It's time for the Twid, so let's go ahead and bring that up. There we go. This week in Destiny, the 29th of May, 2026. This week in Destiny, we have even more to share about the Monument of Triumph update coming on June 9th. We started yesterday with a Dev Insight article focused on the return of the director. I made a video about that, and you can find that somewhere, I don't know, on YouTube, I guess. And early this morning, we published a Dev Insight article focusing on weapons, the artifact, and vendors. I also made a video on that one. And I made a Xur video, so you can go check all those out at any time. In this Twid, we'll cover what's coming to Crucible, Pantheon, and Cosmetics. Crucible tuning with the PvP strike team, Pantheon and rewards updates in raids and dungeons, ornaments, bright engrams, bright dust, and more cosmetic updates. You know me, I'm a fashionista when it comes to Destiny. Have you read yesterday's Dev Insights article about the director? Yes, I have. Read this morning's Dev Insights article on weapons and more too. I did, and I made a video. I already plugged it. Let's move on. Dev Insights, weapons, artifacts, and focusing. Would you stop that? Focusing preview. Okay. All right. We love a long twit as much as anyone, but this one was already getting very meaty halfway through it. That's why all you need to know about the updates changes to weapons, artifacts, plural, yes, and vendor focusing lives on its own Dev Insights article, which we published earlier today. It covers a lot of important topics like the new weapons tier upgrading system, tier upgrading for crafted weapons, buffs to many exotics like Anarchy, Lament, and or Vex Mythoclast, including new catalyst and improvements for previous ones. Balance update to most legendary weapons types, including an overall buff to primary weapon damage in PvE, targeted buffs to most special weapons for PvE, and many legendary perk fixes and buffs. A preview of the very customizable Artifact 2.0, including new ways to counter champions, saving your choices and loadouts, which is something I've long wanted and am so happy we're finally getting. Too bad the game had to die first. And that's harsh. It's not dead, and we can keep it alive, guys. So let's do that. Updates to vendors, weapon focusing, and gear attunement. If you have not read it, go do it, or go watch my video. It's even better. Dev Insights Return of the Director. Guys, it's an hour and 15 long. Both these videos, these Dev Insight videos, are over an hour long, so you can just put them on as you go to sleep. They're very ASMR-y. While we're at it, did you read yesterday's Dev Insights article about all about the Return of the Director? Yes, I did. This one was published yesterday and covers the following: the director, layout, additions, and updated destination loot, distortions, adding some spice to select patrol modes, the portal, breaking down barriers and overhauling the experience, Gambit Ops, bringing our old friend into the fold, heavy metal, vehicular mayhem. I love that. Sparrow Racing League, returning tracks, new loot, and some twists along the track. Check out the full article. It's right over here. PvP Strike Team update once more with feeling. Sandbox tuning review. First, let's review some of the previously discussed sandbox tuning for weapons and armor that will directly impact Crucible. We have more to talk about with abilities next week, but as a sneak peek, check out some of the changes we're discussing, including some big ones to invisibility. Abilities, global. All multi-charge abilities will now start Crucible matches with one charge full instead of all charges full. Void, invisibility, greatly increased opacity to make players more visible in Crucible. Scatter grenades, reduced chase distance versus players by 50%. Reduced the amount of grenade energy this gains from perks by 12.5%. Hunter, Solar, Deadshot Super, reduced energy refund for kills on enemy players by 40%. Warlocks, Void, Pocket Singularity, reduced tracking shape against players by 60%. Titan, Arc, Knockout, Removed lunge range bonus versus enemy players. Corrected an issue where the bonus damage could be applied too early, increasing the damage of the melee that activated it and causing unexpected one-hit kills in Crucible. Stasis, Diamond Lance. Reduced freeze area of effect versus enemy players. Players can no longer quick fall after throwing the Diamond Lance. Artifacts. Artifacts are now disabled in the trials and competitive playlists. Exotic Armor, Warlock. Demios Fusion. Fusion. Anyway, increase the time between damage ticks against players. Nothing Manacles. Reduce the extra seekers created from 4 to 3 and reduce the range and lifetime of the extra seekers. Titan. ACDC/0 feedback fence no longer provides any damage resistance versus other players. Ammo system. Reduce the point gains from special ammo and heavy ammo kills and assists and super kills by 33%. Reduced glaive melee point gains by 20%. Reduced adaptive burst linear fusion rifle ammo from crates from 5 to 3. Reduced bitter ends ammo from crates from 75 to 62. Weapons, auto rifles, high impacts, increased RPM from 360 to 400. To compensate for the faster time to kill, reduced ADS damage fall-off scalar from 1.7 to 1.6. Reduced base damage from 24 to 22 and critical hit damage from 43.2 to 39.6. This includes Vex Mythoclast and Cirrus Regime with dual speed receiver, but excludes Service +1 and Sweet Business in its non-spun up state. Adaptives. Increased base damage from 15 to 15.5 and critical hit damage from 26.25 to 27.1. Pulse rifles. Lightweights. Reduced base damage from 19.7 to 18.8, and critical hit damage from 31.5 to 30.1. Legacy frames. Since these weapons inherit the damage change from lightweight pulse rifles, we are reverting the nerf to their ADS damage fall-off scalar. Increased ADS damage fall-off scalar from 1.6 back to 1.7. High impacts. Increased ADS damage fall-off scalar from 1.6 back to 1.7. Scout rifles, rapid fires. Reduced base damage from 28 to 27.3 and critical hit damage from 54.6 to 53.25. Hand cannons, aggressives. Reduced base damage from 49 to 48.7 and critical hit damage from 90.65 to 90.1. The last word. Increased stability on mouse and keyboard by 10%. Increased aim assist when hip firing on mouse and keyboard by 10%. Perks. Adagio. Reduce the damage bonus on hand cannons from 30 to 27%. Full choke. Pellet spread is now reduced by 5% instead of 3.25%. Shot package intrinsic now reduces pellet spread by 2.5% when ADS. Unified Crucible Ops. We have moved all the playlists into the Crucible Ops screen and depreciated the legacy Crucible node. This will allow us to better focus the population and reduce instances of duplicate or overlapping playlists. As a note, for Control and Iron Banner Control, the only playlists in which skills is utilized for matchmaking, there we go. Outlier protection has been set to automatically revert to open skill if queue times are taking too long. Control. Outlier protection matchmaking. Replaced by Iron Banner Control when active. Competitive. Rank-based matchmaking. Rumble. Open skill matchmaking. Quick play. Open skill matchmaking rotates game modes weekly. Mayhem, Rift, Relic, Momentum, Scorched, Supremacy, Class, Zone Control, Hardware Mix 6v6. Replaced by Iron Banner Quick Play when active. Small Team Quick Play. Open Skill Matchmaking rotates game modes daily. Survival, Heavy Metal, Elimination, Hardware Mix 3v3, Arena Collision 4v4, Lockdown, Clash, Elimination, replaced by Trials of Osiris when active. Limited time modes, Trials of Osiris, passage-based matchmaking, available every Friday through reset on weeks when Iron Banner is not active. I need to start covering that. Replaces Small Team Quick Play. Iron Banner Control, Outlier Protection Matchmaking, available for 1 week every 4 weeks. Replaces Control. Iron Banner Quick Play. Open Skill Matchmaking, available for 1 week every 4 weeks. Rotates between Tribute, Fortress, and Eruption. Replaces Quick Play. Sparrow Racing League. Private matches. Updated rewards. So let's take a quick peek at this. You'll notice this down here. This artifact's not current, but there are others to choose from. Yes, we are getting multiple artifacts, and the artifacts are getting a complete rework, and they look like they're going to be pretty awesome. Oh, I really need a new trackball wheel. There we go. Just take a pause on that for a second. Not really sure what they're trying to show us here. But, yeah. Okay. Armor set. Maybe that's what we were looking at. Triumphal Anthem. 2-piece. Scoot to loot. Sliding collects nearby ammo and temporarily grants enhanced reload speed and handling to your weapons. I like that. 4-piece. Shoot to scoot. Dealing damage with your weapons temporarily grants an enhanced slide. Gain damage resistance while sliding. I like that too. Weapons. New. The Helmsman. Arc. High impact. Bolt action sniper. Reprised. Back fully tiered with new perk options. Joxer's Longsword. Better Devils. Unending Tempest. Randy's Throwing Knife. Autumn Wind, Out of Bounds, Sorrow's Verse. Returning. Weapons from Edge of Fate through Renegades that will still be earnable. Riptide, Moss Athenor 4, Mida Macro Tool, Pure Recollection, Returned Memory, Stars in Shadow, and Qua Vinctus 4. Newly tiered. Weapons from the The Edge of Fate, which are coming back as tiered versions with the same perks they had last time they were released. Retro Futurist, Anonymous Autumn, Last Perdition. New ship, Sparrow, and Ghost as post-game drops. The Glory of Shax's ship. Warlord's Charge. And Lordly Shell. Those are actually kind of cool. Pardon me. New emblem and shader on Shax's rewards track. Yes, they are bringing back reward tracks for most of the tower vendors. New modifier, Arena Collision. Arena Collision is a 4v4 game mode that harkens back to the original arena style of sandbox, with more methodical gameplay focused on weapons, map knowledge, and movement. Fight over the heavy ammo crates to help you control the objective and enjoy greatly reduced penalties for hip firing and airborne gameplay. Rules: primary weapons, damage unchanged. Hipfire accuracy and aim assist penalties are decreased. Special weapons, disabled. Heavy weapons, damage increased, or decreased rather, damage decreased. The game starts with 3 heavy ammo crates active, 1 for each side and 1 neutral. Crates respawn as a wave on a 120-second countdown. Crates are not shared. So 120 seconds, guys, that's 2 minutes. Just doing the math for you because that's the kind of guy I am. General weapons. All weapons are granted plus 60 airborne effectiveness. Radar. Heavily modified. Base radar range has been decreased and no longer expands dynamically. Players will only show up on radar if they are shooting, sliding, sprinting, jumping, or have heavy ammo. Within the center circle, players will show up as dots instead of illuminated wedges. Grenades. Grenades base recharge has been disabled. Getting a final blow will refund grenade energy, the amount of which is based on the base cooldown and your grenade's stat. Melees. Powered melees are disabled. Melee damage has been decreased. Glaive melee damage has been further reduced. Class abilities. Class ability base recharge has been disabled. Getting a final blow will refund class ability energy, the amount of which is based on the type of ability you have selected. It's base cooldown and your class ability stat. Supers disabled. Camera 3 peeking is disabled. Respawns 7 seconds. Revives enabled. New additions to private matches. I'm going to take a drink of coffee here, guys. Give me just a second. I love espresso. New additions to private matches. Heavy Metal and Sparrow Racing League have been added. More on them in this Dev Insights article. I highly recommend you go read these articles or watch my videos. They are very good. Changes that are coming. Not the videos, but the topics. We have also created a couple of new private match exclusive modifiers. Glass cannons. When everyone is super, no one is. This modifier is filled with 30 seconds of fun style loops and power spikes, but players are much less resilient. Plays most similarly to the D1 style of Crucible. Primary weapons. Body shot damage is significantly increased. Special weapons. Damage is significantly increased. Special ammo meter progresses significantly faster. You can retain twice as much ammo after death. The game starts with special ammo crates active, and crates are shared. Heavy weapons. Damage is significantly increased. A single heavy ammo crate will spawn at a neutral location on a 40-second cooldown, and the crate is shared. That's 4 minutes, y'all. General weapons. Aim assist is slightly reduced. Radar, unchanged. Grenades. Cooldowns are doubled, but damage is greatly increased. Melees. Cooldowns are doubled, but damage is greatly increased. Class abilities. Cooldowns are doubled. Supers. Cooldown are halved, but damage taken from weapons, grenades, or melees while in super is greatly increased. Camera, unchanged. Respawns, 5 seconds, no revives. Software, the opposite of hardware. Throw more grenades and melees and supers and look good while doing it. Primary weapons, disabled. Special weapons, disabled. Heavy weapons, disabled. General weapons, disabled. Radar, unchanged. Grenades, cooldowns greatly decreased. Melees, cooldowns greatly decreased. Class abilities, cooldowns greatly decreased. Supers, cooldowns greatly decreased. Camera, fixed in third person. Respawns, 5 seconds, no revives. That actually sounds like a PvP mode I can get behind. I might try that. I will try that. We've also added a new rule set for Rift to private matches. Single round Rift allows the game to play continuously from start to finish with no resets after a spark is dumped. Renewed competitive rewards. While we are doing a rewards refresh, we have decided not to reset rank alongside the release. Check out the new competitive armor set and weapons offering. So yeah, those are kind of cool. All right. Armor set per Audacia. 2-piece primary chain. Primary ammo weapon final blows grant a stacking bonus of mobility and primary weapon range and handling until you are defeated. 4-piece subclimb transit. Increases mobility and grants enhanced sprint speed and slide distance. Note, these benefits do not stack with the enhanced sprint or slide provided by exotics or abilities. They do stack with things that increase movement speed via a scalar, like lightweight or killing wind. Killing wind. Wow. It's been a long morning, folks. Please bear with me. Here we go. Weapons. New. Solemn Lie. Arc lightweight 140 RPM hand cannon. Reprised. Rose. Redrix Estoc. Mercurial Overreach. Deadlock. Belisarius D. The Riposte. Returning. Solemn Remembrance. Peculiar Charm. Alongside the new competitive Glory armor set and the returning weapons, we're also adding 2 new emblems to be earned. New competitive emblem, I Am the Crucible. Win 77 games in the competitive playlist to unlock this emblem. That is a cool emblem. New Ascendant Zero emblem, Last Guardian Standing. Works the same way as the original Ascendant Zero emblem, where you earn points for wins in Ascendant Zero, with more points for wins at higher ranks. The number of points you have determines the emblem drop chance after a win. Earning 1,000 points guarantees the emblem on your next win. Progress towards earning this emblem only begins after you have acquired Umbral Echelon, which is still able to be earned. We've also taken a pass over the map waiting for the playlist, with the goal to remove some of the more frustrating map and mode combinations from the playlist and reduce the likelihood of some others from occurring. Map weighting changes. Reduced. Solitude clash. High to normal. Dissonance clash. Clash. High to very low. Rusted lands clash. Normal to low. Widow's court clash. Low to very low. Anomaly collision. Low to very low. Removed. Multiplex collision. Low to 0. Exodus blue clash. Very low to 0. Twilight gap clash. Very low to 0. Vostok, both modes. Very low to 0. Trials of Osiris and map rotations. We are going to be changing the way map selection works for trials moving forward. Each weekend we'll have up to 3 maps on rotation chosen upon chosen using the below process. Pardon me, folks. 1 map is randomly selected from each of the 3 pools below. Pool 1, Burnout, Javelin 4, Endless Veil, 33.33 chance, our percent chance repeating, of course, per map. Pool 2, all Pool 1 maps, Altar of Flame, Pacifica, Cirrus Plaza, Eventide Labs, The Dead Cliffs, Meltdown, Solitude, Radiant Cliffs, Wormhaven, 8.33% chance per map. Pool 3, all Pool 1 and Pool 2 maps, all remaining maps except Convergence, Rusted Lands, Multiplex, Citadel, and Exodus Blue, 3.23 chance per map. 3.23% chance per map. So, while most weekends we would expect to end up with 3 different maps on rotations, the system makes it possible to have the more popular maps double and triple weighted. For example, we could end up with double Javelin 4 selected in pools 1 and 2, and the Dead Cliffs selected in pool 3 for a weekend. It's even possible, though unlikely, to end up with all Endless Veil, Burnout, or Javelin 4 for a weekend if that map gets selected in each pool. We feel this change will help to keep the trials experience feeling less repetitive week over week. We've also got a whole new set of awards for Trials of Osiris. We will be resetting trials engrams at launch, so spend them now. New trials engrams and the score-based rewards at the end of matches will be able to drop all the new gear, while our focused gear system is changing to have a pool of weapons instead of a single focused item. That's a cool looking armor set. That's kind of a cool looking armor set. Wow, look at the horns on that dude. Armor set. Cruel Electrum, 2-piece primary survivor. When an ally is defeated, primary ammo weapons gain increased handling, reload speed, target acquisition, and reduced flinch. Bonus increases when multiple allies are dead at the same time or when running solo. 4-piece primary phantom. Final blows with primary ammo weapons remove you from radar for a short time. Drawing a weapon that does not use primary ammo will immediately end this effect. Weapons. New. Willful Hamarata? Yeah. Hamarita? Let's just go with Willful Hamarita. Arc Adaptive Burst Linear Fusion Rifle. Reprised. The Messenger, the Summoner, the Scholar, Solace Scar, Aisha's Care, Exalted Truth, Keen Thistle, the Inquisitor, Igneous Hammer. Nice, Igneous Hammer is being reprised. Shira's Wrath, Eye of Soul, Exile's Curse, and Tomorrow's Answer. Returning, the Martlet, Corundrum Hammer, the Immortal, Cataphractii GL3. Some of these names, Bungie. Astral Horizon, Everburning Glitz, Burden of Guilt. Man, okay, that's on me. I can't speak. Arius Neutralizer, Arc Distabler, Aisha's Embrace, Unwavering Duty, and Forgiveness. Newly Tiered, Reed's Regret, and Yesterday's Question. Bonus focus pools are replacing the old single weapon as a weekly focus. Now a focused pool of weapons that drop in addition to the base rewards. The Lighthouse will have its own focus pool as well, home to some of the best weapons Trials has to offer. Week 1. The Scholar, Exile's Curse, Solace Scar, Forgiveness, Aisha's Embrace, Corundrum Hammer, Astral Horizon. Week 2. Aisha's Care, Keen Thistle, Willful Hamaradia, The Immortal, Burden of Guilt, Unwavering Duty, Cataphract GL3. Week 3. Exalted Truth, Eye of Soul, Tomorrow's Answer, Everburning Glitz, Auric Disabler, Arius Neutralizer, the Martlet, Lighthouse, Igneous Hammer, the Messenger, Shira's Wrath, the Summoner, the Inquisitor. We also have 2 new sets of ships, Sparrows, Ghosts for you to collect, as well as a new emblem and shader on St. 14's reward track. And we have the Pharaonic Shroud Shell. Oh, that's interesting. Curse Eternal Shell. I like that one. That's kind of cool. Elytra's Sprint. Yeah, pass. Vermilion Crown. Idol of Ancestors. Featherweight. Okay, that one I kind of like. All right. Iron Banner Renewed Rewards. With the Monument of Triumph release, Iron Banner is returning with a new 4-week cycle. And that's not all. You can also earn a new armor set and a slew of reprised and returning weapons. Armor set, Iron Battalion, 2-piece, primary honing. Increases handling and reload speed for primary ammo weapons. Primary ammo weapons gain increased damage against non-boss combatants based on your weapon's stat. 4-piece, super silical? Yeah, that's it. Final blows while your super is active. Refund super energy when it ends. Weapons. Reprised. Fellwinter's Lie. Multimox CCX or 210. Lethal Abundance. The Forward Path. Point of the Stag. The Wizened Rebuke. Pressurized Precision. Krimmel's Dagger. The Time-Worn Spire. Roar of the Bear. Ganora's Axe. Occluded Finality. Returning. Regex Pledge. Finite Impactor. I really like Regex Pledge. I do have one with, I am blanking on the names right now. Destabilizing Rounds and the one that gives you the Void Overshield. I really like that. I'm blanking. Sorry. Newly tiered. Tusk of the Boar. Frontier's Cry. Arkan's Thunder. There you go. Reese Walker. Tanisha's Mastery. There's some good weapons in here. Peacebound. Allied Demand. The Hero's Burden. Claws of the Wolf. Jorum's Claw. Bite of the Fox. Bonus Focus Pools. These pools will alternate each time Iron Banner is active. Winning gives you a higher chance of earning a bonus drop. First Iron Banner. The Forward Path. The Time-Worn Spire. The Wizened Rebuke. Krimmel's Dagger. Ganora's Axe. Fellwinter's Lie. Regex Pledge. Second Iron Banner. Multimox CCX. Finite Impactor. Occluded Finality. Lethal Abundance. Pressurized Precision. Point of the Stag. Roar of the Bear. Oop, that's going the wrong way. There we go. Enter the Pantheon. Moments of Triumph will include a new set of Pantheon raid activities shaped in the image of the original format, but with upgrades and surprises featuring new bosses, new rewards, and new ways to play. We wanted to celebrate Destiny 2's bosses that veterans may remember and give returning Guardians an opportunity to experience them. At launch, 2 activities will be available, each with a unique lineup of bosses. The first Saturday after launch, a third activity will unlock, which challenges players to take on the full gauntlet of bosses. The following Tuesday, at Reset, weekly rotators begin featuring individual bosses. Guardians can earn a new armor set for each class, a suite of weapons reprised from the original activities with a unique origin trait and holofoil variants. Each multi-boss activity concludes with a vendor offering purchase of rerolls for acquired items with spoils of conquest. Reprise Pantheon encounters have a chance to reward ornaments for their original armor sets. For example, Callus may drop the armor ornaments related to the original base Leviathan raid for Guardians who have not unlocked them. You know what? That's cool because I think the only one I'm missing from that is the arms. So that would be nice to get those. Completing a new set of Triumphs, rewards, emblems, exotic cosmetic items, and a new title. All activities offer a new adventure difficulty aimed at players looking for a lower stakes opportunity to learn, teach, and practice for success. This lifts the power cap, allows infinite revives, and adds slack to the timing requirements for some of the mechanics, with a trade-off of a limited pool of lower tier rewards. feats. Since their introduction in the Edge of Fate, we've been listening to feedback that in already challenging activities, the feat system has made it too difficult to earn the highest quality gear. In Monument of Triumph, those activities now have a standard difficulty option without feats that will continue to offer weekly Tier 5 drops per encounter. Feats are still accessible in a new custom difficulty mode where we have overhauled the quantity and quality of rewards granted by completing encounters with feats active. The additional drops and tier upgrades are per encounter and guaranteed. In addition, we've increased the reward value of some feats to better represent their degree of challenge. The table below shows the total gear rewards for each feat reward grade. These rewards are farmable and can be claimed repeatedly. Cutthroat Combatants plus 4 reward grade. Pardon me. Challenges plus 3 reward grade. Shock Troopers plus 2 reward grade. Token limit, phase limit plus 1 reward grade. Grade 0, 1 tier 3. Grade 1, tier 3 and tier 4. Tier 2, 3 and 5. 3 is 2 5s. 4 is 1 4 and 2 5s, and 5 is 3 5s. So, yeah, you got that going for you. Raids and dungeon rewards. We want to provide a compelling reason for Guardians to revisit their favorite rad activities in Monument of Triumph. To that end, we've updated all weapons and armor from pre the Edge of Fate rad activities to now provide tiered rewards. This means all raids and dungeons will drop tiered armor. All dungeons will drop tiered weapons, and craftable raid weapons will have tier bonuses accessible from the relic. For weapons, this unlocks all the features of gear tiering, including enhanced perks, barrels, mags, origin traits, cosmetics, and mods. For armor, this unlocks all the features of gear tiering, plus unique set bonuses for each raid and dungeon. In addition, all raid weapons will gain updated perk pools, while dungeon weapons also gain new origin traits. Craftable raid weapons now have an option to upgrade into tiered gear. Check out today's Dev Insight articles for details. New tiered raid armor will no longer drop with a slot for activity-specific mods. However, once acquired, those legacy armor pieces can now be purchased from Hawthorne with spoils. Below is an example from the Shattered Throne dungeon that launched without its own unique armor set in 2018, which now rewards an armor set featuring art from Season of the Defiant and includes a new set bonus. 2-piece Queen's Foil Rush. Gain a powerful overshield while performing your finisher. When you finish a target, release a slowing burst around you. 4-piece Truth to Power. Gain increasing damage resistance when you deal damage or land final blows. Finishers grant accelerated progress. At max stacks, the recharge rate of your abilities is also increased. That's kind of cool looking. Rad Rotator. The Raid and Dungeon Weekly featured rotators are returning with changes to incorporate tiered rewards. 2 Raid and 2 Dungeon activities will be promoted to featured status each week. Challenge icons will lead you to the featured activities on their original destinations, in addition to being sorted to the top of the new raid and dungeon category on the director. While they previously offered a powerful upgrade, featured raid and dungeon activities now reward the highest quality gear as outlined below. The listed rewards are farmable unless noted with a weekly lockout. Featured raid. Standard. Deep sight weapons or tier 5 armor from encounters and challenges. Master. Same as standard plus adept weapons from challenges. Director challenge. Deep sight weapon or tier 5 armor weekly lockout. Hidden chests. Tier 5 armor weekly lockout. Deep sight chest. Deep sight weapon or tier 5 armor if all patterns are complete. Vendor. Weekly deep sight purchase. Master offers adepts for 25 spoils. Non-featured raid. Standard. Oh, there we go. Chance for deep sight weapons and tier 3 armor. Master / challenges / deep sight chest. Deep sight weapons and tier 5 armor. Featured dungeon. Standard. Tier 5 weapons and armor. Master. Tier 5 weapons and armor. Director challenge. Tier 5 weapons and armor weekly lockout. Hidden chests. Tier 5 weapons and armor weekly lockout. Non-featured dungeon. Standard tier 3 weapons and armor. Master tier 5 weapons and armor. As you can tell, this release is a look back at our rad content over the years. We have marveled at how our extraordinary community has overcome every challenge we could dream up. Your dedication and limitless capacity have been a source of inspiration. With Pantheon and Moments of Triumph, we have Monuments of Triumph. Pardon me, I'm still having trouble with that. We endeavored to again create an opportunity for your fire team to walk into the unknown and achieve the impossible. More vault and loadout slots. There we go. Before we close out this section about so many new and renewed weapons and armor to earn, you may be wondering where you're going to fit all of it. Well, good news. Your vault is getting more space. It is increasing from its current 1,000 slots to 1,300. That should be enough to fit everything, we hope. On top of that, how about also getting some extra loadout slots too? We are adding 8 more slots, so you'll go from the current 12 slots up to 20, and man, that is nice. Cosmetics, bright engrams, bright dust, and expanded exotic armor ornaments. When Renegades launched, we introduced universal exotic ornaments, and the Destiny 2 fashion community got to work making many exciting new fits for their Guardian. However, one question rose to the top of the feedback. When can we put legendary ornaments on our exotic armor? The answer is in Monument of Triumph. We didn't stop at just legendary ornaments, however. All qualities of armor ornaments from common to legendary can now be applied to the currently equipped exotic armor alongside universal exotic ornaments. The same caveats that applied for universal exotic ornaments will still apply for expanded ornaments. If the ornament is not specifically parented to the equipped exotic armor, its visuals will be temporarily disabled in PvP content, but will return upon exiting that content. Special visual cues or effects applied by ornaments that are not specifically parented to the equipped exotic armor may not be visible. That is so great because some of those exotic class items are super ugly. Additionally, note that the equipped armor's icon will update to show the visual of the equipped ornament, but will still retain the exotic quality color. This will ensure that players in PvP can always know that their rivals have an exotic equipped, even if they're wearing an ornament of a different quality. Exotic ornaments in collections. In addition to expanding the range of ornaments that can be equipped on exotic armor, the full collection of exotic armor ornaments for each class can now be viewed in collections in the exotics section. Okay. Destiny announcements. This will allow you to refer to announcements that you may want or need to reread, may have missed, or had accidentally dismissed for up to 30 days after receipt, after which they will naturally expire and be removed. Additionally, the system will now support automatic delivery of messages to the announcements screen, resulting in fewer pop-up messages overall. The announcement screen also include a featured item carousel. In addition to standing messages, this section will include information about relevant content. Okay. Bright engram focusing. The upcoming release will change the way that bright engrams work with the addition of bright engram focusing, housed in a new tab in the Eververse. After a focused engram will award an unknown item of the engrams category. For example, a focused ship engram will provide an unowned ship. Okay, so there's Ghost, Ship, Sparrow. Okay, gotcha. Okay, there's finishers. I can't tell if there is one for like the hollow foils. I like the hollow foils. I own like 3 of them. I'd like more. And I know a couple of them are tied to the seasonal activities like solstice and whatnot. So I'm hoping those become accessible. The categories for focusing include, for 1, Eververse engram, plus 0, 300, 600, and 900 bright dust. 0 bright dust, standard decryption with no focusing. 300 bright dust, legendary accessories, ghosts, ships, and vehicles together. Legendary shaders. Legendary flare, hollow chips, ghost holograms, and transmat effects together. Okay, so that answers that question. 600 bright dust, exotic accessories, ghosts, ships, vehicles individually with skimmers included in vehicles. Legendary emotes, a single player and multiplayer together. Legendary finishers, 900 bright dust. Exotic weapon ornaments, exotic emotes, single player and multiplayer together. Legendary and exotic armor ornaments, individual engrams per class and slot combination. Focused engrams will contain Eververse sourced items in a category that are drawn from across Destiny 2's history. Even items newly introduced in Monument of Triumph and items that have never been offered in engrams or for Bright Dust will be available through focused engrams. Note that focused engrams will offer items only. Bright Dust will not be a reward option. However, you can still get offers of gifts of Bright Dust from the original standard decryption with no focusing. While several focused engrams have more items in them than we can show in the preview of its contents, seriously, there are a lot of items. They will not drop duplicates, and their contents are finite. This means that they will gradually deplete as their contents are acquired. As an engram depletes, the preview of its contents will update, and eventually all remaining items will be visible in preview at once. When a focused engram has been completely emptied, its preview will be empty, and additional purchases of that engram will be blocked, as there will be nothing left to earn. Bright engram focusing will also provide a one-to-one exchange for legendary engrams that were available before the Eververse engrams was introduced in Season 12. The exchange for a given legacy engram will only be visible if that engram is present in your engram inventory. Eligible legacy engrams are as follows. Looks like that's season, so we'll just say S1 Bright Engram, S2 Illuminated Engram, S2 Dawning Engram, S2 Crimson Engram, S3 Prototype Engram, S3 Solstice Engram, S4 Steadfast Engram, S4 Ephemeral Engram, S5 Etched Engram, S5 Winter Drift Engram, S5 Crimson Engram, S6 Notorious Engram, S6 Jubilant Engram, S7 Best of Year 1 Engram, S8 Nostalgic Engram, S9 Fond Memories Engram, S10 Luminous Engram, S11 Mnemonic Engram. Evergreening. With the end of Destiny 2's regular release schedule in Monument of Triumph, we have made major changes to the way we distribute Bright Dust and chronologues or offer access to content from the Eververse, the Rewards Pass, the Monument to Seasons Pass, or Bright Engrams. Each of these changes are from the perspective of supporting the weekly resets that will continue and on improving access to the many cosmetics that have been offered in Destiny 2 through the years. Some highlights of the changes, which we'll cover in greater detail in our next patch notes, include Bright Dust and Chronologues. Chronologues will now be one of the 4 featured currencies shown across the UI, listed after Glimmer and before Silver. They will no longer take a spot in the inventory as a result. I like that. That's a good change. Bright Dust and Chronologues will shift their focus to be predominantly earned through the seasonal hub. with the weekly earnable amounts going up as the hub absorbs other sources. Rewards Pass. In addition to the shift to the hub, Bright Dust and Chronologs will also still be available on the Triumphant Rewards Pass, in part to compensate for the long delay. All Bright Dust on the Triumphant Rewards Pass is on the free track. The score boost has been replaced with an additional set of XP boosts, with up to 15% personal and Fireteam XP available. The 5 stages of XP boost will be automatically unlocked based on progress earned on the Lawless Rewards Pass. The Triumphant Rewards Pass has received additional cosmetic rewards, including 2 additional armor ornament sets, 6 shaders, 2 accessory sets, 2 emotes, a finisher, a hollow chip, a ghost hologram, and a skimmer. Monument to Seasons Past. The Ash and Iron Rewards Pass and the Lawless Rewards Pass have been added to the Monument to Seasons Past. Because it will be permanently available in the Rewards Pass screen, the Triumphant Rewards Pass will not be available on the Monument to Seasons Past. Oh, man. Oh, let's see. I need to drink something. Yeah, that coffee's cold. The seasonal armor bundles for the Year of the Final Shape have been added to their relevant seasons in the Monument of Seasons Past. This will allow Guardians to acquire samples of these armors to unlock them as ornaments. Eververse. The Eververse will be shifting to a more evergreen state. Some changes will be noticeable immediately, including a new daily offers tab, while others will occur starting June 23rd. More details, man, words are hard. More details will be provided in our patch notes on June 9th. Double feature today. Artist of the Week. We are crowning 2 Artists of the Week and Movie of the Week recipients. They'll get their choice of current or upcoming emblem of their category all along by, I don't know how to say that. Oh, I like that. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Law of the Legend by Polly Chef. Yeah, I like that one too. That's incredible. That guy, whoever that is, Polly Chef, well done. Bravo Zulu, as we would say in my Navy days. A Dunk and a Gambit Montage, Movie of the Week. That was a generational dunk. Oh, Guardian Mine. We're going to not watch that. We're just going to, I think we're going to about wrap it up here, guys. That's everything for this rare Friday Twid. Hopefully it was plenty. There's a lot of great changes coming with Monument of Triumph, and our goal with this week's 3 articles was to lay it all out. Well, almost all of it. We'll be there with you all on June 9th, trying out some old exotics with some new catalysts, taking down old raid bosses one more time, fighting friends in the most ridiculous private Crucible matches, dropping an idea here, Javelin 4, New Land Beyond only. Well, you guys knock yourselves out. I will pass on that one. Getting some renewed versions of fan favorite returning weapons and blasting the most annoying horn during some late night SRL races. Honk back if you love Destiny 2 as much as we do. Destiny 2 community team. Well, folks, if you made it all the way to the end of this, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. You can find a link to my Discord in the description, and you can watch me on Twitch if you ever need a place to hang out, a cool community, and maybe a fire team member or two, I'd look there. In any event, thank you all so much once again. I hope you have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Until next time, remember, Hopper loves you.